Let's go and welcome back to another week of Titan Esports Divinity League action. We are slotted for a clash of giants tonight as Big Damage Energy take on Off Dazah. Both teams coming in 4-1. As always, it's your boy Goose, live from the analyst desk, and I'm joined by, again, none other than the fabulous Twitterless Yanks.
Say, if you do not introduce me as Twitterless Yanks, I am leaving. What's going on?
Yo, let's go. Welcome back, dog. We're in store for a treat here because we definitely have a bit more of a slightly more personal connection to this game this week, or these set of games that we have coming up more this week than we do in previous weeks, and that's because, whether or not they know it at home or not, that Yanks and I both used to play for Big Damage Energy. I was an ADC, Yanks was a jungle, carried us to a chip. Just a bit of shameless self-flattery here. But we are still really good friends with him. But also, I've started to become I've started to talk to a bit of the Off Dazah players, just like quick banter, and like general chat, and like Titan Discord chat, and they're pretty friendly people too as well. So I think both teams really coming in, whether or not they perform on the Rift. I think off the Rift, I like them. I like them each, which makes it hard for me to choose which team comes away here. But real quick, Yanks, dog. What do we got to do to get you a Twitter, dog? How many retweets do we need? How many Titan esports followers? Like, how many concurrent viewers do we need to get Twitter?
Whatever our followers, just round it up to the nearest like 500th, and then if we get it, I'll get a Twitter
to the nearest 500. Oh, jeez!
Just to tilt Trisco, I'll even say it. No cap.
No. All right, bet. But
exactly.
honestly, Twitter is a trap. I've only been on it for about 2 weeks now, and I love it. I love it so much, and I like talking trash and posting memes and all that stuff. But anyway, social medias aside, we do have a fantastic matchup on our hands in Big Damage Energy and Off Dazah. Big Damage Energy coming in off of their first loss in over 2 months, right? Their first series loss in over 2 months after just winning. They're coming in as the defending champions. They pretty much went on an undefeated run to win the title in the last split, in the spring split of Titan Divinity League. Coming back now with at this point with an entirely new roster minus the captain of the ship, Isodak here. Would you say that loss last week was kind of just was that like a surprise to you, or was it more expected, right? Was it expected because of all the roster shakeups? Was it expected because that you're not the jungle anymore, right? Was it expected, or was it kind of like caught off guard, right? They played Oasis Maelstrom, who also just lost to Team Pepe's or Reaper's crew like the week before, the week prior. Oh, oh, my fault. Let me not discredit the homies over.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because they earned that one. They earned that one. But regardless, Oasis Maelstrom definitely was looking a little rocky going into that game as well, and they came away with a clean 2-0 sweep. Now, was that result surprising to you, and if so, why? Or if not, like why is that, like, why was that kind of the expectation?
So I'll give the complete honest answer. It was absolutely a surprise to me. Like, no flame towards the old team. I got a lot of homies on that team, but it absolutely was a surprise. I thought that BDE was transitioning into really good hands. Killbot, TLP, Nabra, the swapping ADCs. I really did not expect the outcome from last week. Completely disappointed, if I'm being completely honest. It wasn't something that I was expecting. It caught me off guard, and it left a lot of questions and doubts in my mind in terms of, if, myself, you, and Trisco left the team, in good hands, transitioning into, the new BDE. I really hope to see a different BDE tonight than what we got last week.
Okay, I definitely get behind that. I think I was on the same page. I expected them to win. I definitely am not surprised by them dropping games like they have in recent weeks. I think that's just going to come as you kind of acclimate yourself to each other, as you kind of learn each other's champions, learn what kind of plays you're looking to make. I think that just comes with like kind of forming a new team. But I was surprised to see that they got 2-0'd by Oasis Maelstrom. However, I wanna pinpoint someone who on BDE who has really caught my eye. And not just because we know them, right? Has actually caught my eye just like in their play, and that's got to be Dreadbear and the ADC. Currently, I think if you look at the Sims app, right? If you look at the Sims web app, he's ranked number 2 as the player in the league, like the number 2 best player in the league. So I think with that kind of comes a bit of a higher expectation. I think he has the ability to remain consistent, but maybe was just off last week. There have been ADC switch ups between him and ED and Major, and I think maybe one other ADC at some point. However, I think Dreadbaron is gonna have his hands full this game with Bali. I think that's going to be one of the key matchups that really decide this upcoming game in Big Damage Energy versus Off the Za is going to be Dreadbaron versus Bali, or formerly various meets,
yep.
the ADC Phenom from Off the Za. And what do you think that Dreadbaron will have to do to really like power his team past the and we'll get to talk to him about it a little bit, right? Because Off the Za is actually no joke, right? They're not anybody that's like soft, but what do you think that Dreadbaron can do before we head into this draft? What do you think that Dreadbaron can do to really power his team over Off the Za?
I think we gotta see him on something more carry potential. I know, just speaking to him like on the Rift, just playing games with him, he really likes to favor the Ashe. He likes that utility. He likes to play safe, poke with the volleys and then initiate for his team with the arrows. But I really would like to see him on something that just is gonna pop off. Like give him a Twitch, give him the Ziggs laning ADC, give him something else that he can basically take the reins and carry this team. Last week they're doing the rotating week, so we had Eden Major. They had the loss. You can't really pinpoint it on anybody specific last week. Basically, like no Flame specifically, but the whole team ran it down. This week you've got Killbot in the jungle. He's got a lot of synergy with Steve. Dreadbaron. They've been playing for years together. You've got Nabra that I'm hoping they've been scrimming and practicing and getting that jungle mid synergy going. I think Steve Dreadbaron needs to put the team on his back, get a Jinx, get a hyper carry. Let's see what he can do instead of playing that utility Ashe role.
Absolutely. So so pretty much like he's been playing a lot of utility, and we'll see what they do as we get into this draft, right? Is he going to be on a more utility role, or will he be on one of those carries we're talking about, like the Ziggs? And when you mention utility, right, the first name that comes to mind is actually going to be Bali, because in the beginning of the league, in the first couple of weeks, Bali was really putting on a top tier carry performance, right? A top tier, like he was the double lift of the league for a little bit, and then after a couple of weeks, they decided that it was better for Ballard to take more of a supportive utility role, and he started picking up the Seraphines, right? Started picking up the Seraphines. Now, do you think that it's possible for a team with either, and it looks like Dreadbot might not even be playing. It looks like Edie and Major might be in the game. I'm not 100% sure.
I think it's just a bug, because I did confirm with the team Dread is playing tonight, or it just wasn't switched and updated. And I believe ISO also made it in for draft, but I'm not 100% sure. We'll have to get confirmation. But it is Dreadbaron in for ADC tonight. I did confirm with the team.
Let's go. Journalist of the Year, Yanks, everybody.
I'm trying to give the people the content that they want, the content that they need. I'm just not liking these bands, though. These bands are sus. Whoa.
And we're gonna see the Fiora, the Renata, and the Kali get banned away. Anivia coming through, as well as Ornn, that notorious Ornn pick for the notorious LP, as well as Isodak. If Isodak is here, definitely not going to make it through. But back to like the utility. Do you think it's possible for a team to carry their team on utility picks like the Ashe or like the Seraphine? Like, do you think that they can be the catalyst for victory if they're playing not a carry position or not a carry, a traditional like hyper carry champion?
Yo, absolutely. I think that can be the case. I mean, you could see like, we see it in the LCK like last split, Carrier getting MVP first time in the Korean region where a support got MVP. And what is he doesn't play the Pikes and stuff like that. He plays the Nautiluses, the Leonas, the Renatas. He plays those utility champions that are setting up his team. And I mean, that's what we're seeing from, Dread Baron tonight. We're going to see the tried and true Ash. I think they're gonna, coming off that loss last week, I think they're gonna be playing comfort. Going into Volibear, I don't really like it because of the nerf. I would have rather have seen the Trundle. The Trundle takes away a pick from off the Za, especially with Killbot's Talia being obviously respect ban. You gotta, you have to respect ban it. I just what I'm seeing right now is a little bit of unsure. They're playing timid here with the Volibear Ash, and it looks like most likely Morgana bot lane.
Okay, so not a fan of the Volibear. Definitely and I'm not surprised that you are a fan of that you would prefer the Trundle, as that being one of your tried and true champions that I know of. But we are going to see the Kane come through, likely for KKTI. And we were hyping up various meets and ballet a little bit, but KKTI is also like a shoe-in for at least one pop-off game every week. KKTI on the Nunu in the previous week. I think KKTI played.
He's had pop-up games on Trundle and Wukong. Huge. The Wukong, I think, went 19-1 and whatever it was. I mean, here's the thing, Goose. The whole team, as a whole unit, they've all carried a game. You've got Kobe, who's carried on Garen and Mord. You've got KKTI, Trundle Wukong, Project Crisis, Swain Talia, Ballet, Samir Zeri, Nifty. We called him out, and he had a carry game on Pike. The whole team is carried. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things. It's one of those things where it's like it doesn't matter, like, who you ban on this team. You have to ban strategically and take away certain things, because right now what it looks like is you have a Seraphine Senna bot lane, more jungle, probably Echo mid. Well, no, look at more top Kane, Echo mid. Oh, right. The team is just cracked right now. Like they have really good engage. They have really good team fight. A lot of shielding and healing. Excuse me. And it's one of those things. Like, are you gonna build against that? The Morgana is gonna protect Ash. With the shield once. You've got the Shen ultimate coming in. The Malzahar passive. I don't really see where the big damage is coming from. Like, no pun intended, from BDE.
Well, maybe a little bit of pun. Maybe a little.
Yeah,
maybe a little.
mean, like where's the damage coming from right now? I'm not really sure.
I agree. I think I do also hesitate to see where the damage is coming from big damage energy. Not exactly living up to their namesake. However, I do believe that it's going to be hella hard for off Deza to get on top of them. It's going to be hard for the Echo. It's going to be hard for the Kane. It's going to be hard for the Mordekaiser to really get on top of any of the carries, right? The Ash and the Malzahar, like you have to go through two beefy front lines in the Shen and the Volibear. You got to make it through the Shen ultimate, and then you also got to make it through Morgana's spell shield. So it doesn't matter what type of damage you're actually throwing at these carries, right? And not only that, not to mention that, but both carries just traditionally build and utility slows to their picks, to their builds, right? Ash is going to have the slow with the arrows and that passive. Malzahar likely building that Rylai second or third item, depending on where the game's at. It's going to be very difficult at a certain point in the game for this team to get on top of them, right? You're not going to, they don't have a clear-cut engage on the side of off the Za, right? You don't have a Nautilus, you don't have a Gnar or a I wouldn't even put Trundle in there, right? You're really relying on either that Seraphine crescendo or some sort of CC coming from the kits of your other champions that just land on the picks, that land on that. But again, it's going to be hard getting those picks with that Morgana spell shield coming out of the side of off the Za. So I think I definitely see your damage, but I'm failing to see where they can utilize their damage based on the utility that they don't.
But here's the thing: Kane and Echo, they're going to get engages. They can go through walls. They have like the Wukong ability. They're going to go through the walls. They're going to get picks on these people. They're going to get picks on the Ash, the Malzahar, the Volibear. They're going to get on them. And when Shen ults, the Kane's still going to be there already. And Mordekaiser is just going to take whoever's doing the most damage out of the fight. So unless Mordecai's is split pushing, he's going to be in there those fights. He's going to be taking out the biggest threat. That leaves everybody else to be dealing with the Echo, who's going to one shot somebody. We've seen that on our own, past mid laner do the same thing. Project Crisis, he's going to be able to do the same thing. He's going to be able to one shot the Ash. He's going to be able to fight there, sit there with the volley bear, and knock him down. If he lands a good stun on two or more people, even if he gets it on the one, it doesn't matter. What is it? Forrest. Forrest is playing the support tonight. Forrest has to be on top of his shields, so that way he's saving whoever's biggest threat rate, like whoever's the threat on BDE.
All right, I definitely see that. I definitely, I'm starting to see your point. I think I still have a little bit of BDE hopium, just based on maybe prior connections, and I do see some potential in their composition going for those team fights. But I think we are about to get on to the Rift. Before we get on to the Rift, Yanks, actually, before we get on to the Rift, Twitch chat, make sure you get those predictions in if it's still up. And then Yanks, really quick, game one, who takes game one? And who takes game one and over under 30 kills?
I'm gonna go with off the za on game one, and I'm gonna go combine both teams over 30 kills. I think it's gonna be a really really bloody game.
All right. I think I'm going to go with BDE on this first one. I'm also going with over 30 kills, and that's more so just wishful thinking because I do want to see these teams go at it neck and neck with the giants that they are. And we're going to see which of these two giants actually takes that topple down Divinity Mountain and which one rises to the top as we get live on the Rift with Craze and Shot Duck as our casters for tonight. We'll be back in just a second. Don't go anywhere.
Hello and welcome onto the Rift, everybody. Week number 6 of Divinity League action. We have BDE on the blue side and Off the Zaw on the red side. Shotduck, what's going on here?
I have genuinely been trying to figure out what Daza is. Am I just too old for that?
Weed. It's weed, Shotduck. It's drugs.
Okay.
Daza
Okay.
is marijuana.
Oh shit! All right. Everything makes a lot more sense now. I'm just a little old, guys. Sorry about that.
Shotduck still believes in creating his own hemp on his farm. All natural.
So we've got a wild lineup for BDE here. I was ready to see another batshit crazy Trisco performance, but then there's no Trisco on the Rift.
Yeah, we have nah, bruh. So yeah,
I mean,
no Trisco, nah, bruh.
I'm excited to see TLP back in top lane. Not that the support TLP experience has been lacking. He's been entertaining as always, but top lane is where he really shines. He's got the highest mastery in the game at like 150,000 on this Shen.
Yep, but he is counterpicked. Mordekaiser
Counterpicked himself. He
Counterpicked.
definitely picked that Shen into Mordekaiser.
Also, this Mordekaiser's out for blood. Gobi's got Ignite.
Ooh. Because we're in the patch where they nerfed and added another minute to TP's cooldown, right?
Yep. The pre-unleashed teleport is a minute longer cooldown. Once it's unleashed at 14, it has the same cooldown as it was before.
Okay, so you get one cooldown.
So
pre-14.
Basically, TP for safe laning to get out of jail free card is much more punishable.
Well, see, you say it for safe laning, but I've heard people say that having the free back lets you play more aggressive in lane. But oh god, TLP, not like this.
More aggressive than that. Drops the Ignite, Kobe. I'm not really sure on that Ignite unless he was going to try to find the kill there, but obviously the Ignite's not going to kill from that range. And TLP actually does have the TP, so he'll do some safe laning and get back to base after basically a trade of Summoner Spells, Ignite for TP, which is a fine trade for top lane.
Yeah, I mean, Shen's just playing the wait till 6 game.
Objective survive.
Yeah. Yeah, he's down 10 CS, but like, he's still gonna do Shen things. Is it a little BM for ODZ to pick Echo into this Trisco-less BDE lineup? I felt a little offended for them.
You know, no Trisco, no problem.
But I am psyched to see Forrest Gump on the Rift, formerly from LCG. I love those guys, so it's good to see him playing. I do like this comp.
We're really fighting over the word here. Doesn't get it, unfortunately. I love seeing like full-out skirmishes and fights, people just dying early just for like a single ward kill. Doesn't happen there. But...
It's pretty just back and forth even. I mean, ODZ has been taking CS leads all over the map.
A little bit of trouble. Morgana root lands onto the Ignite. Heal gets used, but it's cut from the Ignite. It's a flash trying to live. The
Forest
Royal lives. Alright. Extremely good trade. Gets both of the Sinner Summoners now extremely punishable for both of Forest's Summoners, Dread Baron having to use none there.
Yeah, I mean, trading 2 for 2 on Summoners, not bad. The Ignite the Flash for the heal the Flash. I'm pretty okay
if you're
with
somebody
that.
like Center, right, who's like, you're easily caught out. Next time, if Morgana bind lands, you're probably just gonna die. All right, so we're back. Technical difficulties happen. Only a little bit of action missing the bot lane as a cleanse was forced out of the Seraphine down there with a little bit of Dread Baron running him down.
Speaking of running down,
Killbot flashes right over the stair, but doesn't get the stun and runs on just in time. And that was quite unlucky.
Oh god, and here's KKTI.
KKTI, but he's not even needed. First blood goes down. Dread Baron looking low, taking all those minions, just gets blasted away.
That was more damage than I was expecting to come out of that combo. I mean, Ashe isn't renowned for being a super durable champion, but that kill kind of came out of nowhere. So, I mean, that's...
Yeah, Dread Baron looking a little bit undurable there. Seraphine popping him away with only the Doran's Ring. Doran's Ring Gaming. As First Dragon is under fire.
There is a little bit of item advantage since Nifty had gone back to base after going very low under turret. So there was the additional longsword in addition to the support sickle. But, like, yeah, Dread Baron just getting caught totally off guard. Other interesting stuff around the map. Top lane is going interestingly. Z-Kobe has gotten a XP lead to go with the 14 CS lead up there. Hasn't translated to much. TLP is just kind of hanging on, doing his thing. Hasn't even gone back to base since that initial teleport usage. And I kind of suspect is going to go back soon. Oh, my client is bugged and I can't see the gold.
Cool. He is
there we go. Now I can see gold.
What to say? He's sitting on about 1,400, so 1,500. He's got a quite amount of money in his pocket up there, top side.
If you're this Shen, do you go back and get yourself the Bami's Cinder, or do you tech into MR to focus on the Kobe matchup?
Well, I feel like MR is actually really valuable this game. I mean, you have 3 as a flash forward, the Nether Grasp, but it's going to be the rewind from the Echo here, trying to chase down Nabra. KKTI doesn't quite make it over that wall with Slash, but he does get the Umbral Trespass of the Killbot, trying to find Nabra. And Mobile Mal's a hard moment, but the Shen shield comes in, and they miss the Echo Q. Nabra barely making it out of there alive, not with the help of his opponents, misplaying just a tiny bit.
Oh, there was some, like, missed communication there. It looked like they were trying to give the kill to someone specific, and so they just stopped doing damage to Nabra instead of finishing off the kill and getting under turret, missing the Time Winder. That's the Q, right?
Yep.
Yeah, the Time Winder just missing. And I mean, a good dodge from Nabra as much as a missed spell. Like a very good sidestep in that in that heat of the moment.
Ashe Arrow going down and instantly going to be able with the cleanse with a flash forward for the Morgana. Nifty in a little bit of trouble here. Gets hit by the bind and the stun, and Killbot slaps him onto the ground, back into the dirt.
Whew. That was a lot of cooldowns for one kill. If they still had the Volibear ult, I'm pretty sure they could have dove this, but looks like they're diving it anyway.
They're trying to dive it anyway, but Forrest Gump is taking a little bit too much, but he takes just the right amount, apparently, living on barely 1 HP from the last tower shot.
Yo, that was actually really clean. And I apologize to BDE for being a doubter in that moment. They pulled off that dive very well. Forrest Gump tanking exactly as many turret shots as he could. Dread Baron, Killbot getting it done. Who needs a Volibear ult? Screw the haters.
Don't have to turn off the tower if you just ignore it, guys.
So, I mean, BDE is getting kills, and they're pulling back the gold lead. At one point, it was 1,000 gold lead for Oftazah. It's now 600-ish, which is purely CS leads. They do have the Infernal Dragon. Mountain Drake is coming up in 1 minute. And we've got, that means we've got Cloud Oceaner Hextech for the Soul. I don't think anyone would have brought Hex Flash, so we don't get to see whatever super interesting bug Sems was posting about.
Super interesting bug abusing. Yes.
I mean, it sounds like it's just gimping yourself that your flash just won't work.
No, it could be worse. A lot of times in my ranked games, people forget they have flash. So, could do a little bit of cosplaying here. So we see that in the jungle, AKTI, absolutely massive, CS lead here.
Yeah, a ton of CS lead. I have never figured out in Spectator Client how to view Kane's transformation status, like how many orbs he needs until form. Clearly looking towards Red Kane, I think just with the team comp they have, as well as the Iron Spike Whip going towards that Gore Drinker. I think last week when we saw Convey on the Kane, it was around 11:30 for that form change. So that's kind of the bar we're looking at with our competitive Gold League Canes. Does have the Gore Drinker. What?
Did Convey look really competitive that game? Shots fired.
I mean, so we've got a Gore Drinker completed, a form change not. So we're already behind
obviously
on
with
that.
the Gore Drinker, I mean, we're assuming red.
Yeah.
Kane here.
There was a minute that Blue Kane was going Gore Drinker too, but I think Riot decided they hated assassins going Gore Drinker.
So you have a little bit of a standoff around this Mountain Dragon.
Importantly, TLP does have the Shen'el, does have the teleport, is pretty much guaranteed to lose tower to Zkobe if he leaves lane. But
4v5.
Yeah, the idea is this is the patch where dragons were buffed.
Well,
where
it might not even be, as Mountain's already getting started. Bailey's in a nice position, though. See if the Encore lands. It's going to be another grassy Encore lands on the 2. It's flashed away by Dreadbear, and Dreadbear trying to pump up some damage. Killbot on the front line, but instantly Umbral Trespass. He dies in the Umbral Trespass from the ult for Forrest Gump. Killbot soaking up so much damage. Dreadbear being able to pump it out now. Nifty on the run, trying to get away from this bear, but now Bailey might be in a little bit of trouble. The stun wears off just in time, and the nice rare snare by Nifty's going to get him out, hopefully. And they're going to turn back onto this Mountain Dragon. And the whole time, I mean, TLP got interrupted, so he gave the shield, didn't even have to come, and he saved his tower. So, outplayed.
Yeah, used the flash, used the ult, but got Kobe's flash, ult, and ignite out of that. And TLP got out of it. So, honestly, that's pretty successful Shen play. I didn't even see who the shield went on. It must have gotten basically instantly popped. But that's a giant shield that enabled their, frankly, wild success in that 4v4 fight. Top lane's looking a little rough with this 50 CS difference.
Gaming.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you don't pick Shen to dominate the lane.
I mean, it's what you expect. He's received no help from topside, right?
Yeah.
He's completely weak-sided against a hard counter matchup, and he's doing his best. He's still helping his team. His tower's still there. He's still soaking XP as well as he can, and it'll show. Mordekaiser, Kobe will be strong, but it's just kind of like the game. It's how the game is getting played here, because BD is completely playing towards their bot side.
Yeah. Gotta help him. I love that TLP is still going for these 1v1 fights, even though he's 2 levels down. The wave is frozen. It's absolutely in an atrocious state. But
Yep. And Killbot's up there right now, probably to try to help him unfreeze this wave.
Oh, the Ash Arrow coming through flies past. I could only see it on the minimap.
Now KKTI is top side as well. Didn't necessarily have to come. Obviously, there's no risk of diving in Mordekaiser. It's kind of impossible. Obviously, they're just there to push out the wave, make sure that it crashes so that TLP can actually get XP when this wave bounces back to him.
I mean, they kind of want to try to find an angle to pick this fight. They have a level advantage on both of them, and it's 16 minutes, and KKTI still doesn't have form change. So, like, especially going into a fight with Voli and Shen, that's exactly what this Kayn is looking for to get those red orbs to get that Rost form. But he's going for the Herald instead, which is a totally fair map objective. It's going to get them gold. It's going to crack one of these towers
Herald
that have been
pass
super
14.
worn down.
No. Sad.
They did use that first Herald in the Dragon fight pre-14.
TLP is just trying to man fight. He's Merc Tread Gaming right now.
Yes, sir. Damn, Kobe's got a 200 gold bounty just purely off of this farm lead. And it's, Jesus, almost 1,800 gold lead on TLP. Oh, that taunt was so good. Not going to save the tower, but gets him out of there. And I don't know if KKTI even gets orbs off of that, because TLP just taunted right through him.
Uh-oh.
Oh, and there's the Death Realm.
TLP's in the realm. Blocking the autos, Obliterate comes down. He's gonna come out of it for a second. Nope, he dies completely. But under the tower, Nethergrouse comes through, and Kobe's dead.
All right, Nabra.
Now Nabra's trying to make something. It's going to be the slashing reap that does find him in a flash up for KKTI. That's 2 kills there, but Nabra does get the shutdown on to Kobe.
Yeah, that was actually really big. A really nice play, rotation out of Nabra to back up TLP on that. Does finish the Leandries.
But he did lose his mid tower for it.
True. So, okay, I don't remember exactly what the Voli nerfs this patch were. Do you think it's unfamiliarity or you gotta fight though?
Echo stun is gonna land right on top of Forrest Gump. He's going to be taken down almost immediately. TLP is here, and Killbot is coming in as fast as possible. He's going to go onto Nifty. The Encore going to land only onto TLP. Nifty down, but the arrow lands onto Nifty. He should die here, but it's extremely close. The Stormbreaker is going to come out. He's healing so incredibly much. Where's the health coming from? The Moonstone healing, almost keeping them alive, but no, it's going to be 2 taken down on the side of Oftazan. Now they're going to push. BDE is pushing for this bot tier 1 tower. Bailey, no ultimate to stop, and Killbot flash stuns the tower. That's not what you wanted to hit. The KKTI is here. They're going to be used on a Bailey to instantly shut her down. Silence on the KKTI. Can they run him down? Can he try to stop with a nice taunt from TLP? He's going to pick up the kill. Nabra finally pocketing some even more gold, and he's going to pick himself up a shutdown on top. He's looking quite strong now.
Ooh. BDE continuing to make some really clean plays, getting the good team fight victory, getting the good dive and the tower, leading into this first Hextech Drake. We do have Hextech Soul. Yeah, just really solid, clean play. ODZ, the players just kind of went in one by one into that fight, and at some point they maybe should have just called it and stabilized the map state. But I mean, KKTI showed up, does have that shiny new Rost form, wanted to pick a fight, wanted to flex, but got sent back to the fountain instead.
Yeah, this isn't your solo queue Kayn right now. It's not COD-based Kayn from last week, but it is definitely not, the Kayn that's hyper-fed. It's going to take some time. He needs to pick up some more kills in team fights. He needs to get more items. He's with one item and some components, it's really not a lot happening.
God, these farm leads are in the top side of the map are getting a little ridiculous at this point. We've got 90 CS lead, Kobe almost doubling TLP.
Flame Horizon, but Dread Baron forgot that this wasn't his side of the map anymore. TLP is going to use the ultimate as well, but it's not going to even come through. The shield instantly gets destroyed. Dread Baron just making a mistake trying to step up when his team wasn't there. Now BDE trying to take it to the tier 1 tower and seeing that everybody on off the saw is just about mid except for Kobe's still trying to pummel down top side. TLP is going to try to pick up this wave bottom side. KKTI is here, but instantly gets another grass into a root. But can they take him out in time? No, they're not going to focus damage onto him. They're trying to turn Killbot. Now stuck out. Stormbreaker's used, going to get the shield, but Trump Umbral Trespass is going to be there. And now Kobe able to make it to the fight. He's going to pick off Forrest. The support said no chance, and another one goes down. Well, Killbot taken away. Now things are getting flipped on its head a little bit. BD just one slight misplay. Now getting caught out in mid after taking that tier 1 tower. Game is looking rough, and there's pings onto Baron.
Yeah, 21 minutes in, this Baron is alive. There's 5 members of ODZ in here. I don't quite get what BDE was going for there. Like, they got the tower. They needed to just try to get out. They knew TLP didn't have the Shenel and wasn't there. TLP went to bot lane to try to catch that wave.
Nah, brah, steps a little too close trying to dissuade this Baron. Now TLP is here, but he's going to be cut down. It's only a matter of time, and Dread Baron goes down as well. They're just running it in to try to stop this Baron, but they're only causing more bleeding as now finally Killbot is back onto the map trying to come in close. Will he try to come in for the steal? He doesn't have the ultimate, doesn't have flash. He only has his smite. It's at 6,000 HP. Can Killbot even do anything here? He decides probably not. And they're going to walk back to their base.
Yeah, no flash, no Volibear leaves them with really no way to get into the pit to try to get that steal. And just like that, the gold lead for Off the Za is at 7,500. And BDE are getting some bounties coming up. This became a really rough game. All of a sudden, they were making some really good team plays, some really good calls. I liked what we were seeing out of BDE. And, like, ODZ just decided to pull in the players that had money and actually went for a team play themselves. And
another grass getting used here, but it's going to be met with the stopwatch by Kobe. Arrow lands on the Nifty. It's going to be QSS almost immediately. Encore lands onto Forrest Gump, and he's going to go down to the burn, but Kobe's going to go down as well. But now they don't have a front line. Everybody's dead, and they're diving onto Dread Baron and not brought into this tower, trying to kite him out, but it's a flash forward, 2 flashes forward. Got to kill Dread Baron, and now things are looking extremely, extremely rough. This tier 3 tower, the inhibitor tower, is going to go down here in mid lane. They're going to take the inhib. And, I mean...
They got Kobe?
You've got 10 seconds. 10 seconds on the timer for Killbot. 10 seconds now on Dread Baron.
Melee minions. It is a little sketchy trying to go for the end here.
Do it anyway. Throw the game.
Yeah, I mean, Goose and Yanks said they were looking for 30 kills apiece on these teams, and we are a long ways from that, so they better hope we get a 40-plus minute banger.
Yeah, right now we're looking at like 30 kills total.
So, I mean, BD have to be careful.
The 4th dragon of the game, Hextech Dragon Spawn, it's already going to get pulled off by Off-the-Za.
They're contesting this, and the advantage is the Off-the-Za players
have gotten
back
lose the
to
game.
base.
If you die here, you lose the game. For BD.
100%.
They have to play extremely safe. The dragon does reset, though. Back down to almost 4,000 HP.
There's the Ash Arrow down.
It goes to the steal. He does get the steal, but now they have to get out of the fight. They're probably not going to win this fight. Killbot already going to take it down. Encore lands on the 2. On backside, Dread Baron trying to get away, but he's going to go down. Forrest Gump is going to burn low, too. And TLP, the last surviving member of his team, and he's having a hard time trying to get away from this. Blast Cone gameplay does happen with the phase dive over the wall from this Echo. Going to take him down, and this will probably be the end of the game. They got the dragon, but what did it cost?
Just leave. Don't take the team fight. Let Killbot get the dragon steal and just get out. No one needed to die there other than Killbot. Like, And I've been the jungler in that situation where I just desperately wanted my team to just walk away. Like, but let's see, do they have it? Nexus is going down.
Nexus is burning.
Oh.
That's going to be the end of game 1. Just a couple of decisive victories from Altazar led straight into just BDE dropping the ball just a few times, and their Nexus goes kaput.
Whew. Yeah, BDE just really didn't have an answer to a couple big players coming out of Altazar. Like Z Kobe was a monster that like they traded 4 for 1 when they were trying to focus him down on that mid inner turret. And it's just like, okay, you got the Mordekaiser. Now all the rest of the team is just nonstop healing. And I mean, importantly with the healing, the only grievous wounds items are TLP with the Bramble Vest and the Oblivion Orb on Forest Gump. And it does really kind of go back to the analysts like Goose and Yanks were pointing out. The damage was kind of lacking in the draft. So I'm pretty curious to see what BDE brings out for game 2. Any thoughts before we send it to break?
My thoughts are there were only 29 kills. AD is going to have to answer for their sins. And we'll throw it back to them in just a couple of seconds. So everybody stay tuned before we go to this break. And we get back with Goose and Yanks for their analysis on game number 2 of BDE versus Altazar.
Welcome back to Titan Esports after an interesting, I will say, an interesting, definitely unexpected, rather swift victory from Off Dazah. Hold on, let me mute my Twitch chat here as I can hear myself. However, we are coming back after Off Dazah has taken game 1 off of Big Damage Energy, looking, I would say, towards the later half of the game, they were looking pretty clean. I think it was fairly evenly matched for most of the game. However, in those last couple of minutes that really allowed them that final push, it definitely looked like Off Dazah were just the better team. Yanks, I know you have a few choice words.
First, I want to apologize to everybody out there. Those delays, the casters kept us informed, stuff like that. When they cut out, we apologize for that. But like, you didn't miss much then, and then they just picked it up with that gank bottom. Like, I completely disagree with you, Goose, when you're saying like it was evenly matched. They were on a 4-1 win, like, kill score. Killbot was focusing bottom, playing with Dread Baron, using that player synergy, not just like, champion synergy, player synergy, getting those ganks. Like, that dive bot, I chef's kiss, mwah, like, oh my god, build off of that. You have to play that. You can't, Dread Baron, you can't be sitting bot lane, losing the tower, and then, okay, I'm gonna start backing up, and then there's 4 people, missing on the map, and your team's not with you. You're Ash, use your Hawk arrow. Steve, I will call you by your first name. Steve, no flame, my man. You are the best ADC in this league.
Hold on, because you just jumped like a solid 17 minutes in the timeline, right?
We out here, Goose. We out here. Let's talk, bro.
Yeah, I see that. Let's talk.
Best ADC in the league, man. Use your skills. You
went from the let's start from the beginning, right? You went from the BDE tower dive with Dread Baron and Killbot being on the same page, all the way up to Dread Baron maybe overstepping in that bot lane, maybe like 10 to 15 minutes later.
Well, don't skirt it either. Like don't skirt it. Forrest, like, there was a reason why he subbed for us last year, like last split. There's a reason why he's subbing right now. Clean bindings. Let's go. Nice dive. Like, he's probably rusty coming in. It was a nice dive, but I just don't want to skirt. Like, those Forest bindings were on point.
Absolutely, right. And even talking about Forest, you're talking about Dreadbot and Kill Baron. Like, now we talked about it a little bit before that game 1, but this BDE team was actually in this game, this BDE team was actually an entirely different roster than what we're used to seeing, right? The casters even mentioned it, right? Trisco wasn't there, and they now have Nabra. ISO wasn't there, TLP's in the top lane. TLP wasn't playing support like we've seen this season. We had Forrest Okun, Dread Baron, and Killbot. While they are kind of the familiar faces on these two on this BDE team that we have, they are also pretty new to the league, right? This is their I don't want to say their first season, but I think this is their first season pretty much playing consistently on the BDE squad. So that combination alone, right, in those first couple of minutes, we're looking kind of scary. And I kind of expected you to come in here on the ODZ bandwagon. But I'm like pleasantly surprised, right, giving that credit where credit is due. In that early game, BDE did look like the better team. I will rescind my statement on that. They looked evenly matched. I think I agree with you now. Now that you pointed out some of these things, that BDE did really look like the better team in that match. Where do you think it really fell apart for them?
I unfortunately think it fell apart at 2 positions. The top laner and TLP, he looked very rusty, like oxidizing rust in the rain, rusty in the top lane. With, I don't know who picked it. I don't know why it happened. Shannon to Mordekaiser. Very odd. He was, I want to go back and check. He might have gotten Flame Horizon. I don't know. But the TLP and then Killbot. Like, he early game ganking, setting up his lanes perfectly, but he fell behind on CS. He was falling behind that way, and it kind of hurt him in that instance. But obviously, like, stealing the dragon, doing his thing that way, he's coming back. I mean, Kane is probably gonna like farm better than Volibear. I just don't know why you picked the Volibear with the nerfs. I don't know why you picked the Shen into the Mordekaiser. I kind of flamed Nabra with the Malzahar, and he played it well, like ulting people under towers. Like, he got that 2v1 kill top and then almost got the Kane. Kane had to blow that summoner to get out of it, blowing that flash. The Ash arrows initiating was good, but if you put, Dread Baron on a hyper carry, that game goes a little bit different. You've got the Enchanter Morgana protecting him with the Black Shield. You can put him on something else that's going to be able to, give us that big damage energy. And that game I saw, kind of no damage energy, if I'm not going to lie. But,
the
yeah.
puns are coming through, right? I definitely want to. I want to highlight a little bit, right? Because I think these two players that you mentioned, the Volley Bear for Killbot and Kane. Oh my Jesus, how am I forgetting the off this jungler right now? KKTI, KKTI on the Kane. Right, I think they were like the driving force, right? They were the enablers for their teams. They were the ones that really got the plays moving, either whether it be dives or starting up objectives, or kind of being that first line of contact, that first engage that Kane likely was before he ended up ulting whoever he was engaging on. Would you say that there was a bit of a jungle diff in the early game, or do you think that these junglers are evenly matched?
I think in the early game, it hands down and went to Killbot. He was pressuring, making like solid, that dive bottom. Like, I can't stress it enough how well that was to put him ahead. But you have to realize, like, Killbot ganks bottom, he gets his bot lane ahead. If that's a hyper carry, they just win game. Like, it's just done. You know what I mean? You've got that Ashe ahead, and Ashe ahead, what does that do? We're not really getting much off of it. But it, hands down, early Killbot 100% in my opinion was more proactive, getting that early dive, getting those early kills, setting up his lanes. The thing was, though, is that Mordekaiser was pressuring a TLP. Kobe was pushing in. He's stealing Scuttle Crab. He's getting that deep vision into the jungle, so that way they can see where Killbot is. And then Seraphine and Senna, Nifty and Bally can start playing a little bit more safe. They can say, hey, we're squishy, basically double enchanters. We're gonna play a little bit back more, so that way we don't keep dying, and we can basically fulfill that role in our team of keeping the Echo, keeping the Kane, keeping the Mort alive. So I think it's one of those things where, very proactive in the early game, but then you didn't transition to anything. There was a couple times in the middle of the game where, I'm talking to you offline and it's like, what is he doing at this moment? He's just standing mid. He has his bot jungle like up and, able to farm, and he's not doing anything. He's just, kind of posturing mid lane. Killbot, is I know personally is a really good jungler. So I'm not sure what was happening in the comms. If it was like, do we do this or if we do that? But I kind of wanted to see that early lead transition into that mid game, better, and we didn't really get to see that.
Yeah, just BD really being unable to get it done in that mid game, costing the game there. But as well, right, we got to give credit to where credit is due. Kobe really coming through for his team, really leading into that narrative that pretty much anybody on their team can really pick up the slack at any point. As we hop into this draft here, I think the draft is ready for us. So as we hop into this the charge, do you think that they can draft a higher damage comp and be more successful with some of their more familiar members, or do you think that off the Za, right? Do you think that Kobe, the combination of Kobe and KKTI, or the combination of that Bali Seraphine with Nifty on pretty much whoever Nifty wants to play pretty much at this point. Like I've yet to see Nifty do poorly on any game and on any champion. So Champion Ocean is we're starting to get into the, maybe not Champion Ocean yet, but maybe like a Champion Bay or like a Champion Lake right now that we're getting into.
You have Nifty, to ban this. I hate to interrupt you, but please ban Seraphine here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. finally you're paying attention. I know with there was a little bit of a shakeup with the coach changing for BDE, and I'm not sure who's doing like the draft prep right now. But last game you had to ban Seraphine and they didn't. And now that they banned Seraphine and Renata, I think they definitely have a good shot here. It just depends on who they're giving counterpick to. I'm sorry I interrupted you, but this is like hype as hell because if they give counterpick to ISO, he's got a good chance to put the team on his back. Even though the enchanters are nerfed with the shields and the heals, like kind of getting nerfed, like with this last patch, I think you have to, even though TLP is not an enchanter, you put him on it. So, oh wow,
that's a petty pick right there. That is definitely taken away from Killbot.
Project Crisis plays this. He popped off on it earlier in the year. You don't be in the Fiora. ISO, you pick a tank into that's going to stay alive just to neutralize her, and then that way you don't have to give them the Talia. I like the Sivir here. What are they doing with Rammus? God knows what the hell that is. Wow. Oh wow. I
don't know. We're seeing maybe some spicy picks coming through for the side of Killbot. Talia is going to come through. They did ban away some of those things that you mentioned, right? They banned away the Poppy, that traditional counter to the Fiora that is so strong for KK or for Kobe. And Fiora got banned away as a result of that. And then you have the Ornn and the Anivia. Anivia getting taken away from Nabra. He is a control mage player, and Anivia being one of the strongest meta control mages right now. That is going to go away from him. Seraphine and Renata, like you said, are going to get taken away as they pick up Lulu and Kog'Maw on the side of Off-Dazah. We're seeing an entirely different composition coming out from both teams here.
Absolutely.
Why do you think that is because both teams were not really happy with their draft last game? I think you could argue that there was no damage on the side of big damage energy. And you could argue that there was like no really engaged utility on the side of Off-Dazah. And really the last game might have been more of a coin flip, more of like a who gets caught out first and who can steamroll that way, and not so much about the draft, right?
That Earth is we got a confirmation that Earth is a Mordekaiser ban here.
The Earth is a Mordekaiser ban, so the Mordekaiser is going to go away, right? But we're seeing entirely different compositions come out of both sides. What do you think is going on in the heads right now, right? So let's maybe talk about Off-Dazah, right? What do you think is going on in the heads of Off-Dazah, right? They're coming off this win. They really didn't need a high urgency to shake things up. Do you think that they're doing this a bit for like a showmanship, for a bit of flair, or do you think that they have a solidified plan with this Kog'Maw Lulu Talia?
I honestly think like they're kind of running like a Juggernaut comp aside from like the Talia. I think they're going to look into that, but I just think it's one of those things. They think they're better, and it doesn't matter what they play. And this is more of like a scrim for them. Like, we're gonna play what's good. We have better hands, and we're just gonna push them off the rift. I truthfully believe that that's how they're playing, because if you've only lost one game to a forfeit, and then one game to Oasis Melch.
Hold on, dog, because we have, I believe, our first Lee Sin in Divinity. I've yet to see Lee Sin in any. I've been watching the Conqueror League. I've watched a little bit of Gladiator with Santorino and the turnups and all them a little bit. I've watched a lot of Divinity, and I've yet to see Lee Sin get picked up in any of these games. And that is easily the most exciting champion on the Rift.
I think this. I get you're like really pumped up for Lee Sin, but I think ISO on Silas has a real potential to pop off here, because he's going to be able to get into any team fight with the Shen'el. I just don't really see any other ult doing much for him, because can
you imagine ISO taking the Lee Sin ult and then insecting Kog'Maw into a thresh hook? Like what? How do you not see the playmaking potential?
That's one aggressive ultimate, and you're getting a Talia wall, you're getting a Lulu ult, so you can stay alive in a fight. But I know why he took it. He really likes Silas and Tashen, so that way he can follow into a fight with the ultimate. I personally would have liked to see him on something else, because look at your damage profile, if you will. You have that tank Rammus, you have the Malzahar Silas, AP top and mid. Sivir isn't one of those champions who's going to be like the Jinx, where she's popping off like she does. She has an amazing amount of wave clear with her bouncing blades. She's going to be able to engage with fights with her ultimate if they get into team fights. And this isn't like, picks here and there. Team fights, Sivir is going to be able to pop off with her bouncing blades, because she's going to get that increased attack speed, and she's going to be doing like a lot of damage. But if they don't get into team fights, or if Talia splits them up, it might not happen, especially like if Lee Sin's just kicking somebody out of the fight. So I mean, I think we could have seen something better here with the carry ISO, but I think putting him on a quote unquote carry and not on a tank or something else is what we have to have. So that way BDE can try to win. But I think Off the Za is playing, hey, we're just going to try this out because we think we're going to beat you anyway. And I mean, I have to respect them for it because right now, if they win this, they are the clear number one in the league, even if I'm simping over Dog or not.
So you think that this win for Off the Za, right? Picks aside, right? And maybe if we're really going crazy, right? Can we get a who the spicier champion is, right? Lee Sin or the Silas, right? Who will have more of an impact in the predictions? I don't know if we can do that or not. I'm really just kind of pulling at straws here. But picks aside, do you think that Off the Za, if they win this game, are the best team in Divinity right now? Yes or no?
Absolutely, hands down. Hands down. Your only loss comes from your, not setting your calendar for when the league starts. You overslept, just like, missing class or something in college. That's your only loss. You dropped one game all split. Absolutely. If they win here, they've toppled BDE. They're going to be dropping, and Off the Za, in my mind, is a clear number one. Doesn't matter if Dog wins 2-0 or if they win 2-1. Unfortunately, I think they are a clear number one.
Okay. I'm going to reverse the question before we hop into a break. I'm going to reverse the question because I'm like less concerned about who wins this game and more concerned about what it means and what the outcome is on the State of Divinity, whatever the outcome is. If Big Damage Energy come back with a 2-1 victory here, would you say that they are the best team in Divinity? They beat Dog already. Keep that in mind. They've already beat DOG. Do you think that if they beat Off the Za, coming back from a 1-0 deficit in this series, that they are the best team in Divinity?
No.
What? Lay out the hypocrisy.
Yo, hear me out. Yo, hear me out. Like, all right, you have to remember. Like, hear me out. You have to remember. A lot of my friends are still on this BDE team, but I'm going to be the most impartial I can be while on this AD and while on the power rankings desk. I'm going to be impartial, and I'm telling you right now, Dog lost to BDE because they had BDE had Trisco, myself, and I think it was Steve that week. You have to remember it was BDE 1.1. This new iteration of BDE is faltering a lot. They just lost after having a lead to Off the Za. I have to see more consistency than this wavering BDE if we're gonna see something like that. Hands down, DOG number one. If BDE, I think it would go, in my opinion, it would go DOG, depending on obviously if they win or lose. We're assuming they win. It would go DOG, BDE, and then depending on the rest, it actually might even still be Off the Za number three. I mean, we'd have to see what shakes up in the league. But yeah, absolutely, I do not. I put DOG above BDE. There's too much inconsistency.
All right, I'm gonna have to cut the DOG simping off a little bit here. I'm gonna have to cut you off on that. I think there might be a little bit of partialness because of your connection to BDE. But whatever. I respect your opinion regardless. I think BDE definitely has been stumbling a little bit. So I definitely see the logic there. But I think it is a little bit. If they come back from this 2-1, I think it'd be pretty impressive. However, make sure you get those predictions in from the Twitch chat. Make sure you get those predictions. Will Big Damage Energy come back to reclaim their throne as the defending champions and come back to win this, set it up for 1-1? Or will Off the Za knock off the reigning crown and claim the title of number one in Yanks' heart? Find out when we come back with our casters, Craze and Shot Tuck in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
are back onto Summoner's Rift. Sides have been swapped. We do have Optazah on blue side, and we have BDE on the red side. Shot Duck, 5 point happening. Just a little bit of fighting right before we cut on. What's going on here?
Yeah, neither of these teams are actually all that strong level 1. Probably ODZ has the stronger with damage coming out of Talia, Lee Sin. But the amount of CC that BD has in a defense situation would make it pretty sketchy. There's some interesting picks coming out here. I love Rammus as a champion. I don't think he's a great champion. He plays like he was made in 1998, but
I don't think he's even great in this game. I mean, what is the Rammus like? Rammus has the same kind of pick territory as a Malphite, but worse, because Malphite at least has his ultimate, and that's always useful. Rammus is you want full AD team comp and low mobility enemies.
Rammus has the Malphite-esque ult with the Powerball into ult since they reworked that.
No. We're not comparing that to Malphite ult. It's incomparable. It is a shadow. It is a glorified wall jump, at best, on a very long cooldown.
We've got more almost call them Mordekaiser, more Malphite from Nabra coming out. But Isaac probably on the spiciest pick here. Did I not say Malzahar through all of that?
You said Malphite.
Jesus. All right. I swear to God, I'm doing this with my eyes open.
We see trading going down in the top side. I have to say, for
here we go, Rammus gameplay.
I think there a taunt. Oh, it's a flash. Met right away into the taunt there, and that's gonna be first blood picked up. I guess nothing you can do if Rammus just flashes right on your face.
Yeah, really they heard you hating. Oh damn! I just realized this is a Ignite Shen from Kobe. I like it. Isodak also has Ignite. This is what happens when you nerf TP so much, right? It's all Ignite all the time.
Yeah, and I think Ignite is actually really strong for Shen here. Unfortunately, obviously getting ganked early and giving up a kill is not what you want to be, but Shen should be stronger than Sylas early into the game. As a gank in mid lane, a nice knockback into the stun, not brought, has to flash.
Okay.
Yeah, as we see top side.
It was pretty clean. I'm looking to see some Lee Sin mechanics. Lee Sin mechanics and Talia mechanics, frankly.
No flash available on Nabra, and he goes down almost immediately. Nice re-gank by KKTI.
Yeah, honestly, just well done there. Using the cooldowns. They want Project Crisis to get a lead so this Talia can be unlocked to roam around the map. Because that's what she does. That's Talia's passive, Talia's ult. She's all about roaming. And I liked what I see. From just the first time we're seeing that combo on screen, the Lee Sin, the Talia, that was a good flick back. That was a good ward hop. My standards are pretty
nice
low.
Hook. Onto Bailey in the bot side. Ignite Summoner's Spell's getting used, Exhaust getting used down there. But it doesn't look like they're winning it. Nifty being able to shield up with the Summoner Spells used. Dread Baron, just not enough damage on the Sivir early.
Not enough damage, and there was a ton of minions there. They were taking a ton of minion damage, and there were just so many minions for the bouncing blades to keep just bouncing through the minions rather than bouncing back onto Cog. I appreciate the gusto. They just went for it. They saved their flashes. But yeah, that's not what you want to see the Cogmog getting an early kill like that. Usually that's a game champ you're waiting for 30 minutes for it to come online. Maybe that's just me remembering 5 seasons ago. But
yeah, 5 seasons ago, Cogman actually had a passive. It's 30 minutes into the game, you just went. Isodak.
Isodak!
Burning a lot of damage there.
Doesn't have the Ignite cooldown back up, but here's KKTI.
Has Flash, and his jungler is close to see if he tries to bait. It doesn't land the abduct. So, just gonna walk away.
Project Crisis is level 6, so the Weaver's wall is online. Has to be respected.
He's hovering topside. He's coming. He might get seen. The ward gets hit by the vision plant there. They're trying to look, but Isodak has Flash. He has his abscond and abduct. He can jump the wall, so he's not in too much danger. They decide they cleared the ward, run back mid lane. Crisis is just missing a little bit of fun for that one.
Honestly, when I look at these comps, what I'm looking for in this game, I really want to see some anti-synergy where Killbot comes in and taunts someone, and KKTI tries to use the Dragon's Rage to kick the Rammus out, but then kicks the taunt, like the taunted person goes with the Rammus to follow the Rammus. That level of anti-synergy was what came to mind immediately.
We'll have to see once KKTI does hit level 6. And he just did, I believe. So we'll be waiting for the anti-synergy to come online.
Yeah, we've got a little bit of time. Rammus isn't exactly renowned for power farming. Lee Sin's been more active on the map as a ganker and has a 10 CS lead as well.
And he is starting the dragon here. Totally jumped the vision. So even though he does not have the Scuttle Crab, they can't actually see him starting this. And meanwhile, Killbot's actually bottom lane while they're doing the dragon. It's a really nice timer if they can get this over quickly. I mean, KKTI is not even heading that way. He starts walking topside almost immediately. They get the kill onto Bailey. So dragon for Off but a kill for BD on the bot side.
And I mean, getting the early Hextech Dragon, or getting the Hextech Dragon is good. Early on, since its percentage stats, early Hextech Dragons are worth not a lot.
Oh, a nice hook by TLP, but now he's under the tower. Flash is going to use, he's going to get kicked out, and he's going to be finished off. Now the ult, but double ults coming in because the stolen ult. Isodak coming in to try to help his team out, but he's low as well, and he has no mana. Now Dreadbear is trying to pull it back. He's gonna be able to get out to safety, but yeah, thought it was your savior, but definitely was not. Just coming in to die, Isodak, unfortunately.
Yeah, Isodak coming in with the stolen Chenault with half HP, third HP, and normally that's the Silas, you've activated my trap card moment, but I guess Silas was the trap there instead and baits BD into a pretty bad fight.
You say Silas is a trap?
No comment.
My lawyers do not allow me to comment on this. Okay. Back into the game. So one dragon on the side of Zaw. There. I mean, when something nice happens in bot lane and then they try to greed out for it, and unfortunately TLP, Isodak lose their lives for that play, as well as Killbot. I mean,
it's kind of the tragedy of that like I was really happy seeing TLP making plays there. There were like a lot of little micro moments with using the lantern to dodge the Kog'Maw ult, the flash flay to engage that fight. It felt like TLP started those plays in good ways, but like you said, that was kind of greedy. Like, just take the win. You got the kill on the Kog'Maw, push it under tower, reset, spend the gold, come back, like lather, rinse, repeat.
Top side, here comes Killbot, but Kobe has a dash. He is one of those champions, so he's just gonna look at Rammus and laugh.
I mean, it's almost good for BDE that the gank didn't go off, because Project Crisis and KKTI were right there ready to counter gank. There's still a little bit of hovering here for this 2v2 at top.
Is trying to freeze this wave, but There's no way you freeze. Yeah, he just took a big chunk of his HP for about nothing. The wave still crashes anyway. And this Kagwa already has the Rage Knife equipped.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because you played a lot more bot lane than me. Isn't first item Ginsu's, like, not efficient at all since the unhit damage scales with crit?
Yeah, I'm not really sure what... Oh my lord, KKTI! Forget what I'm talking about. Isodak just gets styled on. And down in bot lane, Red Baron gonna have to use the flash, but it doesn't look like TLP is also happy, but Killbot is here trying to soak up damage for his team. Exhaust coming down onto Red Baron, now wear it off, and he's gonna get the kill onto Nifty. It's a complete turnaround, a hook lands on TLP! Very nice, he pulls Bailey back into it. It's gonna be a flash in front of Crisis, but now Kobe's here with the ultimate. He finds the flash taunt. Are they gonna turn it around now off the Zod, now pushing the pressure onto the bot lane. Killbot gonna powerball himself out. TLP is gonna walk away. So it ended up being a trade 1-for-1 at the end.
Okay, that went bad when Kobe came in, but still, like, pretty good. I like what we saw. I got really hype. I had to contain myself when the Ram Assault went over the Weaver's wall.
Okay.
So some unnamed casters have been disparaging Ram Assaults on this broadcast. And it made me happy.
So yeah, just checked out the stats. So yeah, the build for Kog'Maw right now, the most popular build for Kog'Maw is the Rage Blade into Runans into a Titanic Hydra.
What a fucking build. Holy shit. I'm sorry for the language, Twitch gods. Please no Bannerito, but, like, what a degenerate sounding build.
Yeah, so you get the Rage Knife, you get the double... I mean, Kog'Maw has a lot of damage already built into his kit.
Yeah.
With his W. Ooh. Oh my, Dread Baron. Spell shielding the Dragon's Rage. Very nice. His team's coming in. Killbot is here. Got some support, but dodging out on that gank with a really nicely timed spell shield. Well played.
That spell shield was so clean. Oh my god. That was so good. And now Isodak with the roam down.
Yep. And it's going to be Nabra with the Nethergrass going to pick up the kill there.
I'm not gonna lie, I did not realize KKTI was 5-0-0 going into that. So Nabra getting a big ol' 800 gold shutdown. That's fairly huge, as well as getting the dragon there. And we do have an Infernal map.
Infernal gameplay as Kobe tank gameplay, beating up that tower very slowly. So now we are 1-1 on the dragons. And
yeah.
It's Infernal, and Infernal is, I think you said this last week, Infernal is what people die for.
Yup. Exactly.
Hey Mom, I won't be able to come visit. Infernal just spawned on League of Legends, so gonna have to cancel it. We will give up everything for an Infernal Dragon, even our own lives. So have to watch how the next fight goes down if people start going crazy over Infernals. KKTI is roaming here on the top side. Isodak doesn't have vision, has no flash. I mean, this is almost certainly a kill. Dragon's Rage is available, but he might not even have to use it. Definitely not. Kobe's going to pick that one up. Bot lane! It looks like TLP is gaming once again. Finding a pick on the Bailey.
Cog passive almost getting it done, but not quite. And yeah, TLP's Thresh is really clean.
Oh, he's going back in for more. Doesn't land the hook directly on the Nifty, but lands on the minions, tries to get the play. Killbot was coming in, but nope. And now Killbot's trying to click a lantern and he's failing. Killbot genuinely unlucky lantern clicking. Not the best skills on the pinpoint mouse accuracy. Maybe need to go check his Razer products after that one, but TLP is out here and he's really trying to make these plays happen.
Yeah, good on him. I mean, that's what you kind of have to do if you're gonna pick the Thresh. Oh, KKTI getting work done, stealing the red, stealing the Raptors, making Isodak come out of his top lane. See, Kobe has another CS lead, another kill lead. Once again, isn't leaving lane. Like, I'm pretty sure he just blacks out the rest of the map until like 20-25 minutes hit, but like, it's working.
That is the honestly optimal Shen gameplay. I mean, you want to be able to sit in the side lane, you want to draw attention, you want to be strong enough to draw attention from people. That way you can use the ultimate, and here's the ultimate coming in on the KKTI because they want to have this dive at Nice Dragon's Raid into a two-man top. But Killbot is here because they pick up the kill. Dread Baron goes down. TLP onto the tower, getting burned down very slowly. Are they going to pick up the kill? No! Nabra stops it, but now there's even more members. Nabra's going to go down. Project Christ is going to pick that one up. Killbot and TLP are the last known survivors on the tower. They don't care. A double kill for Bailey. And just an excellently played dive by Off the Za.
Yeah, I mean, 4 for 1 in the 5v4 fight. Isodak has the Dragon's Rage stolen. And so I don't know if the Shen ult was maybe on cooldown, but couldn't steal the Shen ult. Maybe he took the Dragon's Rage and because he figured he could stop the channel on the Stand United. But whatever the plan was, it just didn't happen.
I think he actually had picked that up off of Lee Sin after invading the red buff, and he still had it. And
yeah,
there's really no way to use it if there's no enemies around, so
yeah,
can't get rid of it.
Do you think that fight goes better for BDE if they stay under the turret instead of trying to run back?
I don't know. That fight, I mean, either way, somebody's getting kicked out of the turret, right?
Yeah. There were just so many low health bars on that ODZ
Dread Baron finds KKTI and ADC versus Bruiser moment. Gets kicked, gets absolutely blown up instantaneously. KKTI not even breaking a sweat.
Yeah, I think Baron tried to spell shield the E so didn't get slowed down, but then you can't, it's tough to dodge a point blank Q, and so the Q kick Q. I'm liking KKTI's Lee Sin. I am a doubter when I see gold elo Lee Sins. I have not been given reason to have a lot of faith, but KKTI is genuinely performing.
Very soon, yep. Got it.
As is what Yanks and Goose said. They said KKTI is good for like a pop-off performance, at least one every week. And the Kane was like solid, but not. I wasn't wowed by the Kane performance.
But the Lee Sin, Nethergot's gonna get used, but there is the Shen ult coming through to save Nifty. Nifty ult himself, trying to survive. He's just running around the fight aimlessly, going down. Isodak is in the middle of the fight. He gets taken down by Bailey. Nobody's onto this Kog'Maw. It's just free hitting all day long. Just walking forward, dealing lots of damage. Dread Baron can't even get into the fight. Killbot low HP. The dragon is to claim for Off the Za.
I don't know who's shot calling for BDE, but that was awful shot calling right there. Like, they just thought that maybe they had enough damage to kill Nifty in that moment, and so Killbot just went past to try to go way too deep to chase after Bally. And like, okay, see Kog'Maw, kill Kog'Maw. That's like the whole point of that character. But then Nifty survived long enough as a result for Kobe to join the fight. And in that 5v5 situation, ODZ has the kill lead, they have the gold lead, they have the item lead. So like, what are you doing? And if you're BDE, you need to go into that fight. You need to get the pick on Lulu, make her, like, they made her use the cooldowns on herself. Great. But, like, if you kill that Lulu before Kobe gets into the fight, you have a 5v3 fight at that point. You absolutely stomp it. You take the objectives. You get this turret. I think was there a dragon up at that moment? I think dragon was up, and that's why they were fighting in the first place.
Yes, there was Infernal Dragon.
But just like choosing to ignore the Lulu at that moment when she was at like 20% health absolutely cost BDE that fight.
Not even Nifty knew why he was alive. If you can go back, if anyone like goes back in the VOD, watches Nifty during that fight, after he ults himself, he is like running around with his head cut off. He runs into the bush and runs into TLP's cage and dies. It was absolutely very funny to watch. But yep, I'll take the fight, take the win. Misplays by BDE, possibly there, leading to their defeat in that fight. And now a really rough game state, getting wiped like that, losing now down in Dragons.
Say to their credit, as bad as things feel after that.
Oh, Killbot's going in. They're trying to find something. Nifty gets hooked, and there's the Shin ult coming through, and now Kobe wants to try to engage something after you blowing a huge cooldown like that, but they can't find it. Really nice play by BDE, and now Isadak's going to find KKTI, but he's going to get kicked back into Bay lane, stealing a ton of damage. There is some stopwatch for the Silas. He's going to get healed out. Killbot's in the middle of their team, but they can't quite find Molly. He's just dealing out so much damage. Somebody stop this dog. He is barking all over him. Oh my lord.
Yo, TLP!
No.
Okay.
Not a clean ace, but an ace for off the saw, and now they are going to be looking for Baron with every member of BDE down.
Oh, I was ready to be so happy with them. They got the engage onto Nifty, and then once the Stand United came out, they were backing off. And it's just like, yeah, just reset, go back to neutral. You don't have to force a 5v5 when you know you're down on the map. Like, you're behind. So don't go for the fight. Don't take the fight. Just back off. You can give up a mid-inner turret if that's where ODZ push. That's not like a huge deal. But instead it's, once again, fighting, once again losing. And now we've got bounties available. And just when I was going to praise BDE for being in a better place this game than they were at this point last game, it's like clockwise, not that far off from where ODZ picked up the Baron and started pushing for that win in game 1. And now we've got 7k gold lead, 21-9 in kills, 2-1 in Dragons. This is honestly really weirdly similar to the score line from game 1.
It has already hit 30 kills though, and we didn't hit 30 kills game 1, so.
Rude.
But unfortunately for BDE, 21 of those kills are for off the Za. It's not as even split as it was last game. And this game, right now, I mean, it looks incredibly rough. I just don't... I'm not exactly sure how you can win. The Kog'Maw has become the Kog'Maw. And oh my
god.
Guys, where's Dread Baron?
Ice attack. About 45 seconds too late on that Stand United.
Drake, where'd you put my Dread Baron? He is gone. This tower is forfeit. Dread Baron absolutely getting blown up by the Talia there. I mean, Project Crisis has been around for the dives, hasn't done much this game as we'd like. He hasn't been able to get the roams that impactful besides the bot lane dives. And
yeah,
even then, there shows. I mean, he was only 2-1-8. You just almost made Dread Baron disappear.
Yeah, that was wild. Like, not even 2 whole items. Like, that's not an evolved Seraph's Embrace. That's still Archangel's Staff along with the Luden's Echo. And just the amount of damage coming out of this Talia. Kinda nutty. And it was like a team effort. It wasn't just Talia damage, but like the big pop was Talia doing Talia thing. And like if you're BDE looking at this, like sure, KKTI is a champion that is gonna fall off. Like Lee Sin eventually becomes a kickbot, but like Cog Lulu and Talia don't have that problem. Like their damage is still super impactful going into late. So you don't have that to really fall back on.
Here's my question. Who is killing Lee Sin? Who is killing KKTI?
Oh yeah, nobody. Absolutely nobody.
Dread Baron built Collector this game.
That feels like an old Sivir build. I don't know.
I mean,
don't
no,
know that
you
much
can
about
build.
new
You
Sivir.
can build Collector, but like,
Who are you
collecting?
collecting?
Who's collecting? Who's Collector good on? Probably like Cog Lulu, maybe. but you're never gonna
Yeah.
touch Cogalulu and you're never gonna touch Celia, so you're only gonna be hitting tanks. So where's your LDR, sir? You're missing it. Meanwhile, top side, Icedat getting kicked around. There's lots of kicks coming out, but watch out because Volley is here and it's just shredding. It is just shredding. They get grinded like a lawnmower.
Yeah, BDE just absolutely not respecting how mobile the team comp from ODZ is. The Weaver's Wall, the Stand United, both coming out, and what they thought was a 2v2, which we're going to start with, I don't know why they're taking that 2v2 with a 0-6-3 Silas, and a 1-4-5 Rammus versus an 11-1-8 Lee Sin. Like, why are you taking that fight in the first place? But then it's just so easy for the rest of ODZ to join the fight.
I mean, at this point, I'm not. I don't think a comeback is possible. I just don't believe it. I think that ODZ's comp is so stacked. This is where they have hit their stride. This should be like Kog'Maw late game is ready already. It's only not even 30 minutes in. Basically, what I'm watching is to see how well Oftazak can close out this game.
Yeah,
It's gonna happen eventually, but I just want to see how clean it is, how well they can perform, how well they can execute, how they go about playing this game.
yeah, and that's a big part of the conversation. If we are like Yanks and Goose, we're talking about if we're gonna say based on results, and they are looking very good. If we're calling ODZ the best team in the league as of this moment right now, I want to see them clean this up really well. Like this is a BDE team that is a little bit lacking at this moment. Not flaming. They're still a very good team.
We still love all you boys, but
yeah,
it's been rough.
It's been a bit of a rough series. And so I want to see ODZ make some clean map rotations, make some good plays, and clean this up. Just close it out. Come on in, figure out who's going to do the interview.
Yeah, so I'm hopefully they close out. It's going to probably be the Spare, and they've been waiting on it. They've kind of just been stalling around. Icedak's getting a tower, but nobody's really sweating. The Baron's up in about 10 seconds. Pretty sure this is going to be the fight that ends the game, if it's even contestable by BDE.
They've contested everything else that's not contestable so far this game, so I don't see why they would stop now.
Who knows? Maybe Killbot hits the magical steal of his lifetime.
Yeah, we are gonna see a Ram Assault over the Baron wall into a Miracle Steal, but then the rest of BDE is gonna file in one by one and die and give up the game. Anyways, not that we saw that before or anything, but no.
Okay, I don't want to look at the Silas fight. Please direct the cam, thank you. Okay, the bear, he does steal it! And he flashes over. What the? Okay, Oftazak, I asked you to clean this game up. They're not doing it. They're attempting to make an unlosable game longer. Killbot, what the? He just jumped
Thank
over
you,
and they did
Killbot.
not care. He did not care. He took the Baron, flashed right back over, everybody walked away.
Who needs a lantern? Whatever. Give it the flash. Like, thank you, Killbot. I work long and hard on this script. Why is Icedak using the Shenol? Alright. Yeah. I spent a long time writing the script for this series, and so I can appreciate Killbot being able to follow orders like that. That was fantastic.
Excellent script writing on this. Obviously, all of Titan is scripted. Everybody knows. It's like those Chinese League of Legends TikToks you see. As we see, the Dragon already getting taken down. KKTI looking for a steal of his own, but he's instantly nether grasp, but it's going to be the knockup. Trying to kite back.
Oh, he's down.
On to Bali, but he's not going down. And they're getting pushed out now. Icedak in Zanya, but he can't dash out just yet. Finally has it. Now the Dragon wants to take him out. It's getting pretty close to TLP. Very, very low. Kobe, full HP, being the wall that his team needs right now. And it looks like they just have to back out. BDE can't take the fight anymore. They get KKTI, but they lose the Infernal Soul.
That's a heartbreaker, but honestly, 1-for-1 in that situation with KKTI, I believe, having a bounty. Oh yeah, KKTI had a 600 gold bounty, so that was a fat 900 gold going to Dread Baron, and that's exactly where you want it to go.
He had Serpent's Fang. Oh no. Oh lord.
Yeah.
Oh lord. Where's the gold going? Dread Baron, please, I beg you, don't apply Serpent's Fang. Yeah, you can apply it, but you're doing no damage. Who's gonna kill the tanks? Malzahar's not gonna do it. You have to do it. You're not doing anything now. You got Collector and Serpent's Fang.
I mean, I think they're kind of relying on Nabra with the Malzahar dots, with the Leandries, with the Demonic Embrace. Like, you're gonna do damage to the Shen. Like, it's gonna be slow dot damage. And they don't really want to be focusing the Shen.
This isn't my World of Warcraft raids. I don't care how much dots you put on the... Do damage! We need somebody to do damage! At least it's gonna hit 20 gore triggers before Malzahar gets 25% of his HP with Demonic Leandries.
I mean, okay, there's another BF sword in Sivir's inventory. Dread Baron has...
That doesn't become LDR.
That doesn't become LDR. It's probably going to be an eye edge. It's going to do damage. Like, I think the idea is get the bounces, have these giant bounces going between Project Crisis and Valley if they're ever on the same screen together. And Sivir takes it in the end.
That's it, Dread Baron. I'm taking away your pickaxe privilege. No more pickaxes. I don't even care. You need one for IE? You don't get it. No more pickaxes.
Ooh.
I'm too scared they become collectors and Serpent's Fangs.
Speaking of itemization, Cog did listen to you, has a Titanic Hydra in inventory, and a Bami Cinder, so I'm guessing we're getting Sunfire Cape.
Or Frost.
Or Frost, yeah.
Yeah, I think Frostfire Gauntlet is probably better, because I don't know.
Oh, that's right. They just nerfed Sunfire's damage, didn't they?
Yeah, plus, I mean, you think about it, Kog'Maw doesn't really care about killing people who stand next to him because he doesn't want to stand next to anybody. And also,
Sunfire gives the on-hit damage, doesn't it?
I think, but also the way... I don't know how tanks work. Let's be honest, guys. I think Crossfire sounds good because it slows the enemies.
Yeah, fair.
That's the monkey brain answer right there for you.
Oh, Dread Baron.
Dread Baron is very scared right now, popping the hunt on the hunt there to try to get away. KKTI is in the Raptor Pit. He's suppressed. He's going to get the ult. Can they take him down in time? Can they deal enough damage? I mean, does this guy ever die? He finally does. Dread Baron picks him up, but it took forever. Kobe's here over the wall. His team can't really do enough damage.
It's another good fight from BDE. Completely out of nowhere. They pulled a fight while Bally was nowhere nearby. Eventually, Valley just gave up on walking to the fight and took Raptors.
Yeah, KKTI kind of separated himself from his whole team, jumping over there, trying to get into the fight. Forgot about that Malzahar character.
This is what we're seeing. Navra has kind of quietly been performing, honestly, very well this game, I think. Has a CS lead on Project Crisis, got turret plates, got a pretty solid amount of gold. Like, the team as a whole is behind 7k, but Nabra actually has over 2,000 gold lead on Project Crisis. So this Malzahar is in a pretty good place. 4 items in.
Okay, so one last talk about the Sivir build here. So,
all right, it is an eye edge.
I just want everybody to know that I think everybody in chat, okay, Isodak having to burn his flash there, dodges out on Sonic Wave. Everybody here knows, right? LDR is so good this game. Okay, just want to say it. Lisa and Tanky, Congress building tank, Seraph's Embrace on Talia, tank Shed. Okay, that's it. That's all I want to say, guys.
We can believe in last item LDR. I genuinely hope last item is LDR. If for no other reason, because your head might actually explode if it's not.
It will.
I don't want to have to clean up Viscera.
They're clearing the vision, off the Zod clearing vision out of the Purple Worm cave. Isidek being the front line for his team here, trying not to walk into anything. Almost does, but Kobe a little bit late. Hook lands on the Kobe, but obviously we're not going to engage on the tank there.
That was good damage out of that Sivir Q onto KKTI. It took like 15%, 20%.
Speaking about Sivir Q, Sivir might be dead, but it's a stopwatch. Red Baron actually can fight here. Another grass going off. It's just autos after autos, but can they get... Polly, oh my lord.
Nope.
Polly is just untouched. It doesn't matter how fast you kill the tanks if Kogma's just revving up in the background.
Like, okay, on paper, the Sylas pick was spicy, the Sylas pick was fun. It's the same idea with, like, when someone picks TF in mid and you pick Sylas to match the TF ult, so, like, okay, cool. The Sylas might need a bit of time on the hyperbolic time chamber.
This is gonna be the end of the series, yep. Off the Zod taking BDE 2-0. BDE not the best performance we've seen out of them. Off the Zod being able, even though coming back, still maintaining game control, not losing their minds after Killbot read his script and stole the Baron. I really hope for just a little bit more out of BDE, but they just kind of fell over and died, especially the second game.
They had a couple moments. Like, they had some shining moments of where they played super well. Like, I liked a lot of what I saw out of TLP with there was good moments. Landed more power balls than volley stuns from game one. Na brought 2 games of Malzahar. It's hard to make like a highlight reel of Malzahar play. But, like,
I'm sure he did top damage on his team by pressing E.
By pressing E and by Dread Baron building suboptimally.
I would border a line and say that this is almost troll building. This is like ADC troll building. Like, you will do no damage this game with the current game state building these items. It is unfortunately just the case.
Yeah.
You okay, you got 300 CS, you're 37 minutes in, you've stalled the game, but you built Collector and Serpent's Fang. So what have you stalled for? What those are like items that are cheap that you pick up early to still ball. Just unfortunate.
I feel like kind of the point where it fell apart is they needed Isodak to be strong enough to kill Bally. And when that didn't happen, they were left trying to shred through the front line, and that took too long.
All right.
But
I'm sure my analysts have an interview to come up, right? I believe it. So what we're going to do is we're going to thank everybody here for listening to us cast these games, sticking with us and watching the series. And we are going to toss it to a quick break while our analysts, Goose and Yanks, get these interviews on board from Off the Za. So just stick around just a little bit longer to hear the winning team taunt the enemy, because that's all it's about, boys. All right.
All right. Welcome back to this wrap up of a 2-0 stomp. Is that what we're going to call it? A
What's
2-0
worse than a
stomp.
stomp? What's worse than a stomp? Like, what adjective can we use? A reckoning, oh god.
The demise of the Kings of Divinity. We just witnessed a 2-0 sweep of Off Dissolve versus Big Damage Energy, the current defending champions, taking this L today. But really, more so than them taking the L, Off Dissolve really putting in the work to get this dub, or these 2 dubs in a row, really putting on some clean showings in both games. We are joined, of course, again, my name is Goose, and I'm joined by none other than the fabulous Twitterless Yanks. We are also joined by 2 members of the Off the crew here. We have support Phenom Nifty and mid lane menace Project Crisis here, who have put on solid showings in these past weeks, as well as in this game. Nifty getting a solid 26 assists in this last game in Project Crisis, just being a consistent all-around player for his team. Nifty and Crisis. Really quick off stream, we had just a quick question about just your confidence going into these games. Can you tell us a little bit about the confidence that you have going into each game week after week? You can unmute yourself.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you can just you can also unmute yourself, Crisis, as well. You can just chime in whenever.
So I've been talking hella trash, and I really didn't think that I'd be losing any of these games, to be completely honest. Like, what is it? I mean, I've just been ego picking, to be completely honest. Like, the last set that we played, we were playing against Pop Tart, and they play hella Nami. So I was like, I'll show them my Nami, and then we somehow beat them. I died a lot, but that's because I ego picked. And then I think in one of the, well, not I think, in one of the analyses, they're like, this team has big backpacks. We want to see, there's like, we wouldn't be surprised if Nifty picks Pike, and then I just pick Pike the next week, of course.
Yeah, we called out for that one because we wanted to see if you could carry along with everybody else on the damn team.
We wanted to know if you were more than just a support.
Yeah, well, I mean, slightly more,
like
but
the overall consistency of like most of just our whole team week after week. I mean, it's really showing that like we just try. Like we're trying to just get the name out there.
Well, I have a question. I have a question real quick because like you use the word try, and aside from your week 1 blunder, it has been a steamroll, except for Oasis Maelstrom, which you lost one of the games. It has been a steamroll, but you say that you like the word try. We didn't flame you, but we were kind of like looking at your draft in the beginning of that second game, and it was like, it looked to me like it was almost like you guys were like almost trying out like new things, like going in for a scrim almost. Is that how you guys are taking it mentally? Like you guys are saying like you're flaming everybody in chat, which I'm down with. I called out people in trash talk. Like it's not a trash talk if everybody's just being nice to each other. But did you go into that second game like, is this scrim or is it like let's try something new? Because clearly like you guys had better hands that whole game. It wasn't even close. Like what was the mental going into that second game?
It kind of just like the way we draft in general is like it's because since we don't have like a coach like most other teams, it's kind of just like whatever we're comfortable or feel really confident on is typically what we try to go for, and at least try to make a cohesive team around it.
Well, if you don't have a coach, right? Who is doing most of your game planning? Who is doing most of these your drafts? Who is doing most of the in-game shot calling, right? Who is the actual maestro pulling the strings, or who is the actual roller? You know what I'm saying? Lighting it up to you so you can spark it in the game, right? Who is doing the actual the decision making on the team?
I think I would put it up to both Bally and our jungler, for most of kind of like the game planning and kind of the what helps with our draft and our overall just in game plans.
yeah, both of them are also pretty. I mean, everybody's pretty talkative. I guess pretty we all say a lot during game. We're all calling, but those two especially also in game outside of just our drafts and prep. They're also a big part of that.
All right, so those two are going to be the most vocal members of your team, both on and off the Rift. Yanks, I do have one question, but I want to throw it to you really quick to see if there's any other things, because I think my question involves you a little bit as well. So I'm gonna save that for the end. But Yanks, did you?
My question is so off the Za steamrolling through the league. I think you guys clearly with this win today are, in my mind, I'm going into the next power ranking. I haven't seen what DOG does. You guys know out there I'm a DOG simp. I'm putting you guys number one unless DOG somehow like won like a 15-minute game or something crazy like that. What do you guys rank the league in terms of like who do you think your best competition is and who do you think just they're nobodies and it doesn't matter? Like, tell me who you guys are worried about when you're going into the playoffs.
Let's go. Let's get some spice.
Clearly, you guys are going to be going into the playoffs unless you guys just crash and burn, which I don't see happening. What do you guys think?
If I'm going to be completely honest, I don't think we're worried about anyone. And I'm pretty confident that we're just going to continue to sweep as we have been.
Oh, that is nice.
And I'm pretty confident to say that I think we've really earned that rank 1 ranking, even with our first game blunder.
What about you? Who do you think?
Okay, I mean, we're the only team that hasn't lost a best of 3. You know, like we're pretty clean. I think week 1, if we played against DGC, probably would have won. We've been considering the show match. That seems fun. I would love to because that's. I mean,
well, let Goose explain what that is though, because it's something that we haven't really announced yet.
So like that was actually what my question was about a little bit, right? Yanks even leading into a perfect segue here, right? So the two best teams in the league, right? Arguably, right? According to Yanks, you guys have now skyrocketed. Not really skyrocketed. You were like what, number 2, and now you're number 1, right? Pretty big jump. But like, right? You're now number 1. The other number 1 team, I'll say, the other number 1 team is Dorado Gaming Kai. And unfortunately, if you're not like Yanks and I, right, you're not following Divinity League as closely as we are. ODZ slept through all of their alarms in the very first week of the season when they were slotted to play against Dorado Gaming Kai and ended up having to forfeit 2-0. So that win is in the standing slotted in favor of Dorado Gaming Kai. They do have that win over Off the Za by a technicality, right? By that forfeiture. I don't know exactly what happened, but yeah, you definitely probably should have showed up. But regardless, it's in the past. And what I'm proposing here is I think what we really want to know is who is the actual best team. And I don't think anybody wants to wait until a playoff matchup. I don't think anyone really wants to wait until a championship match, right? So what I've been proposing and kind of instigating and what we've been talking about, and Dorado Gaming Kai, if you're out there, right? Daydream, if you're listening, Zol, if you're listening, whoever else in that Dorado organization, if you're listening, right? And maybe we'll hear a direct challenge from Off the Za, right? What I've proposed is an exhibition match, right? Not a best of 3, just a single match to decide who is actually the number 1 team in Divinity, right? Who is the number 1 team? Is it Nifty and the Pike and Project Crisis's Talia? Is it Kobe's Mordekaiser, right? Or is it going to be Dorado Gaming Kai? And Yanks, I'm going to throw it to you because I think you know a bit more about the composition makeup of Dorado Gaming Kai, right? Or is it the Daydream kind of
Daydream is going to be picking the Mordekaiser, the Hecarim with Flash trolling. You got Efron sitting on his Yasuo, his Yone. He's going to be putting work on Victor. You got the bot lane patrol. He's going to be going in. You got that team who's looking saucy. So I think it potentially has a huge impact because if DOG wins, they're going to be obviously better than you, and I'm not going to be able to say, oh yeah, Off the Za is looking good. So I think the show match, if they're listening out there, absolutely, it's going to be looking good. I mean, do you ban the Solace Poppy? Do they ban the Renata Nifty? Like, do they give you these champions like Talia? Like, I don't know. Like, it's one of those things. Like, I think they would have a lot more draft prep for you guys, and even in a shortened week where it's only 1 game. But here's the thing. You can also go like 5-head and say like, yo, we're going to throw this, so we're not giving any strats away. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that.
No, we're not.
You got to go 5-head. You
All
have
right.
to. You have to put some thought into this, so that way you can see. You know what I mean? Like, this is something where you try something out, maybe, so to see if they have a counter to something you've been working on.
All
I'm
right,
just
so
saying.
here's what I think we need, though. Here's what I think we need, because I definitely want the viewers at home to be able to get some beauty sleep, some nice restful shut eye. Right? If we're gonna do this show match, I think what we need right here on this stream is an official challenge from Off Deza for a exhibition match to be live streamed on Titan Esports from a member of Off Deza right now. Can we get that? Is that something that we can get?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I say
You
bet.
gotta-
I'm super down.
Ooh.
Let's
I
go.
don't-
All right,
Yo.
Dorado, that's it, man.
Daydreaming, where you at?
They
Yo.
issued the challenge. Somebody clip this, send it to the entire Dorado organization. I know they're on Twitter tweeting all kinds of stuff, right? Somebody at them right now. Let them know that Off Deza came to play, is not going to let up, and is fighting for this #1 spot. They don't want to wait till playoffs. Again, as they knock off the reigning champions, they are mopping up the competition throughout the entire Divinity League this split, not dropping a single series outside of that first game forfeiture. Off Deza, Nifty, and Project Crisis here. We have any final shout outs before we wrap it up here?
Shout out Bali. He's clean.
Yeah, shout outs to my team. Shout outs to my man's mid beast, because that's where I basically got all my Talia skill from. That's basically it.
All right, shout out to the team. Shout out Mid Beast for always teaching us how to not end before 15 minutes. And shout out to the viewers at home for watching Titan Esports. Again, I am Goose. You can follow me at good _ for the Ganner on Twitter. We have Twitterless Yanks, as well as our casters Craze and Shot Duck. I believe they're also on Twitter. Make sure you give them a follow. Give us a follow on Titan Esports, as well as joining our Discord so we can bring you more content. This is not the only content we do here on Titan Esports, though, because we do have 2 more leagues lined up for the rest of the week. We have Gladiator coming at you tomorrow night at 8 p.m., and we will see, I believe it is a Team Ambition Showdown tomorrow night on the Gladiator League at 8 p.m. and then Conqueror League on Wednesday with that Platinum competition coming at you live. Again, my name is Goose. This is Titan Esports, and that's going to do it for us tonight, as Off Deza really showing why they are on top in Divinity, coming off with this 2-0 win against Big Damage Divinity. That's going to do it for us. I'm Goose. I'm out. Peace.
Later.